Alrighty, howdy neighbors and welcome back to Dark Nights. Last time we decided to start on Shinoru, his route. And also it's break time. Calling my head of school-related thoughts, I lazily throw myself onto the couch. Now that I have time, I can investigate those disappearances in more detail. Shinoru had also been on my mind a lot lately. Now that I think about it, I visit him so often that I probably seem like a stalker. I decided to go to the library. Jun will think I'm creepy if I run into him every single day. As always along the route, I passed the Kinriji mansion. In broad daylight, it looks like any other house. I suppose that's why I never noticed it before. I couldn't resist passing by. When I finally reach my destination, it's quieter than usual. I had the whole library to myself. Hehe. I found myself a comfortable spot, put my bag on the table to unpack my books. Exams will start once break is over. I'm supposed to start studying early. Which subject shall I study first? Because I have trouble with history, it's best to start with that. I sleep too often during class. Heh. I'm better at focusing when I'm in the library than I am at home. Even though both places are quiet, the surroundings here help me stay in the studying mindset better. That's a thing. Like, lots of people are like, I have to be in a certain spot because I can't, like, do my work at home. I don't like distractions and stuff. The first chapter is about the Kinriji family. I've so fallen behind. Why are we even learning about local families anyway? I sigh, but nonetheless decided to keep reading. The Kinrijis resided in a mansion that was built in 1702. The house was partially burned down 70 years later, but then reconstructed in 1840. A librarian passes by and glances at what I'm reading. The story of the Kinriji family. Didn't know a lot about them. Well, I've heard more rumors than facts. For instance, they were murdered by their fellow villagers because they were supposedly plotting something evil. They say if you pass by the mansion at midnight, you can hear the ghosts of the Kinriji family screaming for help. Now, if that's not comforting, I don't know what is. I've heard so many versions of that story, I don't know what to believe. These stories are supposedly passed down from the villagers of that time period, but they very well could have changed over time, so who knows what's true. Besides, dead men tell no tales. I didn't realize we were watching Pirates of the Caribbean. I guess we never found out what really happened then. You know, there's one more rumor I've heard, and it's pretty recent. They say one member of the Kinriji family survived, and is seeking revenge on the village. Some think the demon people are talking about... some think the demon people are talking about is the family member. What? Some think the demon people are talking about is this family member. Okay. Ooh. It's the occultists spreading that rumor, though. There's no way corpses can come back to life. Necromancy. The librarian nods and lets out a sigh before walking away to continue her duties. Questions stack in my head as I stare at the history book. Wait a second. Could Shinoru be a ghost? What a coincidence bumping into you here. I hear Shinoru's voice behind me and look up startled. Hey! What are you doing here? I came here to study and thought I saw someone familiar. I rushed to close the book and hope he did not see what I was reading. Shinoru smiles gently and takes a seat beside me. I didn't recognize you in those clothes. This is what I wear when I do not go to school. When in his free time, he dresses nicely. I didn't mean to disturb your studying. Please pretend I'm not here. No, not at all. It's nice to have some company. Well, as long as you do not mind. I stare awkwardly at the textbook in front of me. Only a moment ago, I nearly concluded that Shinodu was a ghost. What a silly thought. I peek at him from the corner of my eye. Shinodu looks seriously as he brushes through his book. I'm curious about what he's reading. When he glances back at me, I quickly turn away. I stared at him too long. He must have noticed. Oh, you suck. Feel free to ask me for help. Shinodu puts his book down and gives me his full attention. Might as well be straightforward. Well, do you know about the legend surrounding the famous GamesRHard family and their mansion? Yes, I've heard of them. Shinodu's expression does not change. Is your house haunted by them? Shinodu laughs softly at my question. You believe in ghosts, don't you? Answer your question. No, there are no ghosts in the mansion. Moreover, even if there were, we would not be able to see them. Shinodu rests his arms on the table and looks at me with an amused expression. I can't help but blush and turn away. Great, now he thinks I'm a scaredy cat. You asked some interesting questions today. I asked you one! I'm in a good mood today. Is there anything else you would like to know? Well, I quickly try to think of something. It's something that's been on my mind for a while. About your uniform. I'm sure that we go to the same school, but I never see you around. Shinodu rubs his chin as he considers his response. I only take the night classes. Wait, there are night classes? Yeah, I find them more convenient for both personal and practical reasons. Although I wait, Shinodu never seems to finish his thought. Shinodu? My apologies, I am simply unpopular with the regular classes. There were a few incidents that made it hard for me to attend regular classes. Can I join you? I wonder what the night classes are like. I believe you would need to wait for the break to end before inquiring. What is the difference between day and night lectures? Please tell me more about them. To be honest with you, I would not recommend them for you. Why not? I'm confused, I look at him. The night classes are much more advanced than the normal curriculum. I don't know if you'll be able to keep up with the lessons. Are you implying that I'm stupid? My, of course not! How do I put this? The night class is full of students of a different caliber. What, do they have superpowers or something? No. Rather, they're all there for a certain reason. Such as... Perhaps we should leave it here for today. We have studying to do after all. But... June, that's so mean. I pout, but Shinodu covers his eyes with his hand and turns away. That trick will not work this time. Aw. On second thought, allow me to think further about it. I almost jumped from excitement, but hold myself back at Sam in the library. I'm looking forward to it. I have a lot on my mind, but I do not believe it will be too difficult if you only join a single class. The two of us end up studying together until the library closes. Since we are heading in the same direction, Shinodu and I walk home together. So, Shinodu, what are your plans for the break? Nothing much. My life is no more exciting without school. What about you? Heh, me too. My parents are still away on their trip. My friends are going somewhere else. Must be quite lonely. Nope, I'm used to it. Your expression says otherwise. There's no shame in admitting to loneliness. Shinodu, stop. Tell me more about yourself instead of digging into my life. I'm so busy cleaning up my brother's mess. He's been so reckless ever since our parents passed away. Sorry to hear that. It must be tough. I do not mind. He's my brother. And one should take care of his family. Don't forget to take care of yourself too. Don't let your brother tire you out. Yes, well, things would be easier if you listened. You know, I used to wish I had a sibling. But hearing you talk about your brother is seriously making me reconsider it. Ah! We have good times together too, of course. Before long we find ourselves near the old mansion. However, we quickly notice someone is standing in front of it on the street, staring straight at the structure. It's the boy! Yes, sir! Shane has arrived. The odd man notices us approach him. Judging by his creepy gas mask and unusual clothing, he does not seem to be a local. The man's cold stare pierces through me as he peers in our direction. What's with this guy? Everything about him feels so off. I turn to Jinoru, who is frozen beside me. He seems equally disturbed by the man's presence. Hey, you two. Hi, Shane. Is this house abandoned? His words sound more like a statement than a question. I expect Jinoru to reply, but his lips remain sealed. I'm Chain. You're from this village. I reply with a nod. Chain stares at us and narrows his eyes. His gaze is that of a hunter stalking his prey. Sir, I doubt you have any business at a place like this. Please refrain from participating in suspicious activities. You will scare the neighborhood. Jinoru calmly takes me by the wrist and begins walking. Let us leave. The air grows tenser as we slip past Chain. When I peer back over my shoulder, the mysterious man watches us until we disappear past the bend. I cannot help but feel anxious. Jinoru, where are we going? Somewhere the man cannot follow us. You're not going home. I feel comfortable with someone like that hanging around my house. Makes sense. I suddenly realize that even with the glove on, Jinoru's hand feels so cold. He must be quite disturbed. Jinoru releases me as soon as he realizes how long he was holding on to me and looks away, embarrassed. I'm sorry for pulling you with me. I did not intend to. Don't worry about it. I'd want to get away from that guy as soon as possible, too. It's getting late. Shall I walk you home? I blush at his suggestion and wave my hands. No, it's okay. I'm fine on my own. Having you walk alone after running into someone like that would only make me worry. Let's do assist, thank you. I smile at him. Although we have not known each other for very long, Jinoru is often concerned about my safety. While I am sure it's part of his gentlemanly personality, I believe he genuinely cares about me deep down. It feels nice to be around him. As I walk down the road, the sky starts to turn dark. Thank you for studying with me today. It is my pleasure. I actually go to the library quite often. Same. I like studying there. I can do it at home, but it's not the same. I don't have much planned over the break, so I'll probably end up at the library a lot. Soon my friends will be out of town. You know, you were right earlier. I guess I'm kind of lonely. Maybe that's why I keep going to the mansion. I hope I haven't been bothering you. On the contrary, I welcome your presence. I've not spoken with someone so much in a long time. I'm happy to have you around. With my brother ignoring me, loneliness haunts me in a similar way. We finally reached my home. You live even closer than I expected. But don't tell me the real reason you wanted to walk me home was so you can know where I live. Who knows? I suppose I'll see you tomorrow then. Yeah, please, know that you're welcome to visit me anytime. Sure. See you tomorrow. Actually, wait. The rumors have been getting stronger by the week. As you already know, you should not believe everything you hear. Do you mean the demon thing? I mean in general. There are many sides to each story, and the lines between reality and fiction will blur if you are not careful. Till you know the whole story, you should not come to a conclusion. I'm simply implying that you should not concern yourself with things happening in this village. Treat all of the rumors as lies. Just ensure you stay safe. So you're telling me to stop investigating things. No! If I dig any deeper, I might get myself into trouble. It is merely a gut feeling. I only want you to stay safe. Thank you, Jinoru. Jinoru opens his mouth to say something, but remains silent. I can see the hesitation in his eyes. Something is bothering him. Before I can ask about it, however, he turns to leave. I have goodbye and step into my house. After I close the door, I let out a delighted sigh. I hope June will be okay with that creeper chain skulking around his house. When my stomach rumbles, I realize I had not eaten since lunch. I head to the kitchen to make myself something simple. I'm so hungry that I feel like eating a 10-course meal, but I don't have the patience to prepare all of that. After I finish cooking, I take a seat in the living room. It's quiet enough to be lonely, as usual. Ah, damn it. Why didn't I invite you for dinner? It would have been nice to talk a bit longer. Besides, he served me lunch once. It would have been nice to return the favor. All of a sudden, I hear strange noises from down the hall, as if someone is twisting a doorknob. Frosty chill runs down my spine as I process the sound. I am alone here. The doors cannot open or close themselves. All of the windows are closed, so it cannot be the wind either. Oh my, someone broken in. I put my plate down on the table and grab my umbrella to use as a weapon. I slowly tiptoe down the hallway and peek into the darkness. It was difficult to see. I did not wish to scare the intruder away by turning on the lights. Teach this creep not to mess with me! Voices begin to approach me as I close in on whoever has entered my house. I listen to them come closer and closer. I grip my umbrella tightly, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The time is finally right. I jump out and wildly swing my weapon around. Take this, you creepy stalker. Why are you in my house? Get out of my house. Stop, it's only me. Hearing the voice, I stop my assault. I quickly realize it's Shinoru, though I can't see him properly in the darkness. What the heck? I'm sorry, dude. I didn't expect you to walk straight into my house. It's my own fault. I made a fair assumption. Shinoru stands up and rubs his chest. You're quite strong. That was a good hit. Does it hurt? I wrinkled your shirt. It's fine. My apologies. I did not answer the door, or something might have happened to you. As I was cooking, I didn't hear you knock. How did you get in? It's the back door unlocked, so I let myself in. I put my hands on my cheeks in embarrassment. It's the second time I've left the door unlocked. Sorry about that. So what happened? It's just that I cannot go home at the moment. It's always because of that chain guy. Indeed it is. Fortunately, I cannot find my brother either. I don't know where else to go. It is late and he's supposed to be home today. I can help you look for him. You're not supposed to be outside after 9 p.m., remember? You're really serious about following the rule. You and your brother might be in danger. He's probably staying elsewhere. Either way, he should be fine. In any case, it's best to stay inside at this time of night. He's worried that his brother's at home, but not that something might have happened to him. What? I apologize for taking up your time. I hope I'm not troubling you by being here. I did want to invite him over anyway. Not at all. Please feel free to stay the night. Just guest from upstairs. Oh. Shinoru gently gazes at me, then frowns. He holds the back of his neck and bites his lip. I totally understand if you feel uneasy if someone creeping around your place. I will report him later. It's the least I could do to help. Thank you for your hospitality. Only a moment ago, I could have sworn he seemed uncomfortable spending the night. Although I want to ask about it, I do not want to ruin his mood. Not a problem. I don't have people over often, so I need to prepare the guest room first, okay? Are you truly comfortable with me staying here? Of course, make yourself at home. No need to be so polite. I made curry for dinner. Would you like to have some? Well, I appreciate the offer. I'm not hungry. Okay. If you want anything else, just let me know. I take a seat on the couch and continue eating my meal. Shinoru sits across from me and watches as I eat. It feels more than a little awkward. It's been ages since the last time I had a guest over. Even Ikuya and Ryoji hardly ever visit. Are you sure you're not hungry? There's still a lot left. Appreciate your concern, but I ate something before I came over. I see. What about these cookies? They're fresh out of the oven. Please have one. Shinoda said it was full, but the cookie never hurt anyone. He held the box in front of him, hoping he would take a few. He goes quiet for a moment, his expression frozen. Till he takes one and looks at it, fascinated. If you really don't want one, you don't have to. Before I can finish my sentence, Shinoda eats the treat. How is it? His expression does not change as he swallows. I can't help but worry that he may not enjoy it. It is delicious and crunchy. Liar McGee! Wow! This man is the worst liar in life. He hates him. I feel flustered as I watch him take another one. I just afraid Shinoda to have more, but he says that he's full. I'm satisfied that he at least tried a few. Once I'm done eating, I begin to take care of the dishes. May I use your shower? Of course, don't need to be so humble. Make yourself at home. Miss Games, although you were kind in letting me stay here, I hope you realize you should be wary about letting people into your house. We're not strangers, are we? With a sigh, Shinoda heads upstairs. It may only be my imagination, but his cheeks seem red. By the way, if you need me, I'll be in the room next to yours. Shinoda gives me a shout of confirmation. Chapter 2! The Hunter. It's Chin! I go to my bedroom and drop onto the chair. Also an interesting way to start the holiday. I close my eyes and try to relax. I'm quiet for a while. Shinoda should have finished his shower by now. Should I check on him? Girl, what? Hell yeah. I should probably make sure he's tired. Light in the hallway is off, so I have to stumble around the darkness to find the light switch. I shower in the dark. I then knock on the bathroom door. June, is everything okay? I wait patiently for an answer, but receive only silence. I decide to open the door and peek into the bathroom. Look, Shinoda's not there. I had to go to his room already. I had to the guest room and knock at the door. Suddenly I hear a voice behind me. Were you looking for me? I jump up in surprise before turning around. I just want to make sure you're okay. Thank you, but I was able to manage on my own. If you need anything, let me know. Shinoda regards me with a smile before turning away. Good night, Miss Games. I watch him return to his room. Maybe I should take a shower too. Finally clean, I close the bathroom door behind me. With Shinoda here, I feel so much safer. Maybe I should tell him about those creepy stalkers I have. He may know what's going on. As I exit the hallway, I notice a light from downstairs. To my surprise, Shinoda is sitting in the living room. The dim lighting makes him appear more mysterious than usual. Hey, what are you up to? Unfortunately, my mind is so active that I'm unable to sleep. I can understand that. I get us each a glass of water before sitting opposite Shinoda. Anything you'd like to talk about? No, I'm only overthinking things. I tend to do that when I'm alone. Speaking with you does ease my mind, however. Is there anything you would care to share? If you insist. Well, you know, I feel like someone's been following me around lately. This creepy zombie lady attacked me yesterday, too. I think I'm crazy, but the way she behaved was so strange. Why did you do that? Why would you do that? Worry shimmers in Shinoda's eyes as he listens to me. I don't think I'll risk going out at night again. I'm worried there are more of those creepy people. I reported the incident to the police, but they didn't seem to take me seriously. I believe it would be best not to report any further incidents. Why not? Isn't that what the police are for? More people are getting hurt, June. Because I'm terribly sorry to have deceived you. In truth, I was the one that spread rumors about the demon. Of course, there's no demon. Only dangerous people like that woman you described. I had to ensure everyone knew something dangerous was lingering in the village, and Shinoda rubs his gloved hand together. I sense guilt in his uneasiness. Not upset. Whether it's demon or just dangerous people, he did the right thing. But Shinoru, why did you hide this from me? At first I just wanted to warn you without frightening you. Now, however, the situation has become worse than I anticipated. Shinoru leans forward in his seat, hiding his face in his hands. I get the impression he still does not trust me enough to tell me everything. If you think it's for the best, I'll keep this between us. I just hope I won't run into anyone like that woman. It was seriously scary and grotesque. Even drunks don't try to bite people. If you're going to try to stop them, I want to help. I appreciate your offer, but it's rather complicated. He lets it aside and runs a hand through his hair. I'm not certain what to do, either. I wish these disappearances and reappearances would end, the same as anyone else. Even if I had a solution, the situation does not allow me. I made mistakes, and consequently pulled you into this. For that, I'm sorry. It's not your fault that I was talked to June. It happens more often than I like to admit. Shinoru smiles faintly at my attempt to reassure him. It is getting late. Although you're on holiday, we should make sure to rest well. You're right, I'm moving upstairs then. Dots? More dots? When I wake up again, I glance at the clock. It's 3 a.m. It feels a little chilly in my room. I rub my eyes and notice I left the window open. I roll out of bed and stand on wobbly legs. It'd be bad if it started to rain on me. After closing it, I drop back into the bed and bury myself under a blanket. Not long after laying down, however, I become annoyingly thirsty. I can't sleep like this. I head to the kitchen through the darkness. As I've lived here forever, I can easily walk around with my eyes closed without bumping into anything. I hate waking up in the middle of the night. With my thirst quenched, I roll back into bed, and let out a satisfied sigh. As I stretch my arms, I hit something unexpected with my hand. What the? I turned my head to find myself staring at Shinoru's back. Get the fuck! Why is he sleeping in my... I look around and realize I entered the wrong room. No! No. Oh dear, oh no. He just told me I'd wake him up. I step carefully, try not to wake him, but notice something is off. He stares to confirm by reaching out and touching his bare hand. He's really cold. Hey, are you okay? His eyes remain closed, and he's unresponsive. I just really call his name. Shinoru, please wake up. As the panic begins to bubble over, Shinoru finally stirs. What? No, it's games. He stares up at me in confusion before carefully sitting up. I take the opportunity to jump out of his bed as quickly as possible. Is that what you think? I feel my cheeks heating up. There's no way to explain such an awkward situation. I was worried about you. Why do you feel so cold? Not like I was trying to feel it. I guess that's how I am naturally. I gaze at him with disbelief before grabbing his arm to check again. But Shinoru gently pulls away. Sorry to have worried you, but I'm completely fine. He slowly reaches out to stroke my hair. It only makes it harder for me to calm down. Okay. I'm trying to think of something else to say, when Shinoru suddenly stiffens and shoves me away from him. Oh. Too stunned to respond to his actions, I'm shocked even further by a loud noise as Shinoru jerks back. What the fuck? Why, Shane? Get the hell out of my house! My heart plummets in my chest as I see who stands in the doorway. Cold, familiar eyes peer at Shinoru and me over the barrel of a pistol. Hi, Jane. Creepy gas mask guy. I glance back at Shinoru and notice a red stain growing on his shoulder. I sit back up in a panic, rushing toward the energy before pulling back, realizing how bad an idea it is. June, are you? I look at his face, but he seems unbothered by what must be a painful injury. He said, glaring at his assailant. You won't get away this time. The simple words draw me out of my shock. I turn toward Shinoru's attacker, positioning myself between the two men. Move. How dare you break into my house and attack Shinoru? Just who do you think you are? Jun raised an eyebrow. Whether my question or my audacity to face a gun, I do not know. Are you the one who's been making the villagers disappear? I then realized exactly what sort of person would commit such an act. My heart races in fear, but I continue shielding Shinoru. You're the serial killer, aren't you? The one everyone's been talking about. And accuse people of crimes without proof. If you aren't the culprit, then why are you after Jun? Because I want to put an end to the murders, and he is the real criminal. He left my friend with disbelief. Instead of defending himself, Shinoru meets my gaze for a moment, then turns away looking sad. Jun? I'm grateful for your kindness. Why are you saying that now? I'm sorry to have involved you in this, but he's telling the truth. Huh? Why, Jun? That can't be true. Jun takes advantage of my confusion, pushing forward to forcibly yank me off the bed and stabbing Shinoru in the heart with a dagger in the same fluid motion. I pull myself to my feet as quickly as I can. I want to stare in horror as Shinoru calmly pulls the dagger out of his chest. Jun makes an irritated sound, stepping back and reaching into his jacket. Shinoru gives me a small smile as he drops Chain's dagger to the ground. Yo, you're fucking up my bed. May we never meet again. That is rude! Wow! I don't have time to reply before Chain pulls out his gun again, leveling it at Shinoru. Shinoru dashes to the window, opening it and leaping out into the night, as Chain fires multiple shots in his direction. A few bullets hit him before he makes his escape. Chain and I race to the window, but it's impossible to see anything within the darkness. Jun, I can't believe. I stick to the ground as my legs start to feel heavy. I ignore Chain as he makes another irritating noise and holds his gun before turning to pick up his dagger. Chain snorts, the sound distorted and strange through his mask. I can't believe he protected that thing. Jun is not a thing. He's my friend. This has an irritation. When he speaks again, his tone is that of someone speaking to a particularly stupid child. Your friend isn't even human. He's a murderer, and you're preventing me from stopping him. You don't know what he's capable of. How many more are going to die before we catch him because you couldn't stay out of the way? Neither do you, apparently. Shinoru isn't a murderer. Hell yeah! Chain sighs, crouching down to look me in the eyes. Oh my! You know what the living dead are? There are stories about people who died and rose from the grave. Do you know what they eat? No. They eat people. You know monsters like that running around. No, but I'm trying to say Shinoru is some kind of zombie. Remember the bandages around his neck. He slit his throat wide open, but he still escaped. That's absurd. Nothing you're saying is possible. Are you an idiot? No. Even if he's some sort of zombie, Shinoru's a good person. Get out of my house. Whatever. Chain shakes his head as he stands up. I get up to follow him to the front door. Don't ever come back here again. Stop chasing my friend. Chain snorts, but he does not respond, stepping out onto the porch. Take my advice. Stay out of this. There are more living dead in this village, and they aren't all your friends. With that, Chain disappears into the night. No, Chain, come back! I like you a lot! I knew something was strange about that guy. No wonder Jun was wary of him. He knew what he was dealing with. I have so many questions, but it sounds like he wants me to stay away. What if I never see him again? I shook my head and closed the door before returning to my room. I can't help feeling anxious, but there's nothing more I can do right now. There's no way Jun's behind all those murders. If I have to, I'll find the real culprit to prove it. I spend the morning worrying about Shinoru, hesitant to look for him in case he truly does not want to see me again. After a few hours, I finally decide to stop by the old mansion. I try to peek through a nearby window, but a layer of dust renders the glass opaque. Jun, are you there? I shot at him a few times to no avail. Where's that secret entrance again? I fumbled through the wall with my hand, searching for the hidden switch. Stupid secret wall door. I led myself to the fact that he is either not there or is refusing to see me. I head home. Over the next 3 days, I continued searching for my friend, but with no luck. I always walk home with a tight feeling in my chest. I hope Chain hasn't gotten to him already. I find some newspapers on the doormat and take them to the living room. An article on the front page catches my attention. Another victim has been confirmed in the serial murders plaguing our village. Hiro Hitoshi, age 40, was found in a dumpster this Sunday morning. Kiro, who had been reported missing 2 days prior, is believed to have been killed between 11 p.m. on Friday and 3 a.m. on Saturday. But Shinoru came by at 10 o'clock p.m. and he was still there when I woke up at 3 a.m. He was at my house the entire time. He couldn't be the killer. Is it possible June knows this, but still thinks of himself as guilty? I have to find the truth. Standing in front of the Kenriji mansion, I shout my friend's name at the top of my lungs. As expected, there's no reply. Desperate, I begin knocking on the windows as I try to peer through them, but it's too dark for me to see anything. I fumble around the side of the house trying to locate the secret entrance. By some miracle, I actually managed to open the passage today. I glanced around the main room. Shinoda was nowhere to be found, but I soon noticed a faint sound coming from upstairs. As I follow the sound, it becomes clearer. The faint tones crystallizing into a thrumming resonance of piano keys. A melody is gentle yet sad. The song, who could be playing it? A half-open door catches my attention. The music seems to originate from inside. Yeah, 'tis the boy. Also, the piano says Dark Nights. And has the logo. This is the logo. I approach the doorway, peering through to find Janoto seated at the bench of a grand piano. He seems very focused, yet his expression is full of sadness. I listen quietly for a few long moments. All of a sudden, he stops playing and glances in my direction. I slowly move into the room, blushing awkwardly. That's a beautiful piece, June. He smiles faintly at my compliment. I suppose I should have expected you to sneak in again. I'm glad you enjoyed the piece all the same. It's called Dark Nights. No. Shinoda averts his gaze, staring at the piano keys as he addresses me. Why did you come back? I believe we made it clear that we should not meet again. I have many things to ask you. Besides, I think you're innocent. I cross the room and hand Shinoda the newspaper, pointing out the relevant article. As he skims through it, I remind him where he was that night, and then wait for him to draw his own conclusion. You read it yourself. I don't understand why you accepted the blame put on you that night. Shinoda remains silent for a moment, deep in thought. Miss, please come here. He shifts to one side of the bench, making a spot for me. I cross the room and sit down, watching him as I await his response. Did Jane tell you anything about me, about what I am? She told me you're one of the living dead. You were telling the truth. I'm basically a walking corpse. Ooh, you can see it. It's so poorly sewn. Those are the worst fucking stitches. Oh no. Shinoda pulls the bandages on his neck down, exposing the scar across his throat. I stare at the injury as he gently lifts my chin, bringing my gaze to meet his. You may touch it if you wish. I assure you it is real. The only way to kill me is to remove my head. Any other injury is merely an inconvenience. My body functions differently from yours. Even if I'm chopped in half, I will not feel any pain. He leans forward, offering his neck for my inspection. I trace the wound with my finger. His skin is cold to the touch. When I give Shinoda a concerned expression, he pulls away from me and straightens his back before pulling the bandages back into place. I apologize for crossing your boundaries. I should not have showed you something so grotesque. I'm not bothered at all, June. I just wish... I'm glad you're being so honest with me. Did you not say you were scared of people like me before? Are you comparing yourself to the person who attacked me? Shinoda, you're totally different from them. Even if you're a little different from me, that does not change the fact that I like you. And as a person, that is. I hurriedly turned away as soon as I realized what I had blurted out. Shinoda chuckles at my reaction. Thank you, miss. In truth, there are many things I've hidden from you. I apologize for rejecting the dinner you worked so hard to make when I stayed over. This body cannot break down food well. I saw you drink tea, though. Liquid is different. In short, I do not usually eat unless I need to heal an injury. Jane told me that you eat people. Is that true? No, Shinoda pauses, taking a deep breath before continuing. I apologize. No, I do not subsist on human flesh. Oh, that's good to hear. Eating it would allow me to heal faster, as my body could replace damaged cells more easily, but there's no need for me to consume it regularly. So you do? I neither kill nor eat people. There's an alternative method of regular food. It is painful to heal myself this way, however, and I find minor injuries are not worth the trouble. I can't even begin to imagine what my friend had gone through. I gently wrap my arms around his torso, embracing him. Shinoda seems frozen for a moment, but then I feel his arms wrap around me. As we pull away from each other, I notice he's now smiling. After all I've said, it seems I'm the one who is most surprised. I cannot express how I feel, miss. I already told you, didn't I? It's the personality that matters most. That said, the corpse that was found last night, you know who did it, don't you? As sharp as always, miss. My brother, Roya, is the one responsible for the crimes as of late. He's recovering up the evidence for him. Yes, he told me he was only attacking certain people, but I still wish he would stop. Why take responsibility for his actions? You are your own person, June. He is the only family I have left. It is natural for me to protect him. As is obvious at this point, Roya is also a living dead. Although we are fundamentally different, he requires human flesh in order to sustain his existence. I stare at him, horrified. Those demon rumors have turned from lies to truths. That is what I feel most guilty about. Isn't there any way to stop him? I've tried, but there's nothing more I can do. Shinoda rests his elbows on the piano, appearing more troubled by the moment. I cannot simply allow my brother to die, and I cannot watch as he murders the villagers either. I have quite the dilemma on my hands. Why don't we talk them together? 2 minds are better than 1. Miss, it is better if you... Hey, it's my problem too. I've lived for all my life, you know. If I have even the smallest chance to make it right, I want to do whatever I can. I give Shinoda a determined stare. Before long, he gives in. You will not simply drop the conversation, will you? Of course not. It seems I have no other choice then. I will accept your help on one condition. Do not tell anyone else about this. The state of the village is already unstable. I give a thumbs up and a nod. Well, miss, I am glad you stopped by, but now would be a good time for you to be on your way. My brother may wake up soon. This is the perfect chance, then. We can talk to him together when he's up. To be honest with you, I don't think now is a good time. I don't know what has been on Roya's mind lately. It's a fun cue of footsteps begin down the hallway, and the door is slowly open. A tall blonde stands in the doorway. Hey, Juju. Thought I heard you talking to someone while I was in the shower. Miss Cutie again, huh? What good timing. We were just saying we wanted to talk to you. That's unexpected. Roya attempts to approach me, but Shinodu blocks him. Aw, chill as usual. I'm not going to do anything to her. Don't call me by that weird nickname. You're my adorable little brother. Why not? The chemistry even puzzles me. Shinodu almost made Roya sound like a crazy person, but he seems fairly harmless to me. Then again, I should not assume anything yet. Roya, we need to talk to you about those accidents. Roya looks in my direction, tilting his head slightly. Did you seriously tell her everything? I could not. Is she even trustworthy? If not, well, you know the drill. The woman begins approaching me once more, his mysterious eyes gazing into me. I almost feel like I'm being hypnotized, unable to look away, until Shinodu steps in front of me. Roya, I would appreciate if you stopped attempting to intimidate our guest. Well then, why don't we take this conversation downstairs? The blonde snorts and pats his brother on the shoulder before walking on ahead. We make our way to the living room. I plan to have a serious talk with Roya, but it seems awkward now that he has really joined us. The three of us sit in silence until I take the lead. Roya, is it true that you're the one who's been murdering the villagers? What makes you think that? Shinoda told me everything. You'll be caught if you continue killing, and who knows what will happen to you then. The man shoots me a sheepish smile, although his eyes are filled with poorly hidden contempt. Well, little Miss Know-It-All, what else am I supposed to eat? Or are you offering up yourself as a replacement? I must stop killing if I have an entree as cute as you. Nodo clears his throat, deliberately interrupting his brother. Roya, please take this more seriously. Hehe. I suppose I'll have to if my adoring little brother asks me to. Still, what do you actually expect me to do? Are you a biologist? I open my mouth to speak, but realize he has a point. I vaguely remember Shinodu mentioning something about him and his brother's bodies working differently. Well, if that's all you wanted to say, I'll think about it. If you'll excuse me, I have something to do. June, can I get the keys? Never mind, I'll just deal with it. Have a good night, Miss Cutie. When Roya leaves, Shinoda clutches his hands together and lets out a deep sigh. Sorry, I guess it wasn't very helpful, huh? It's not your fault, miss. He has not taken the situation seriously. Were you frightened of him? I sincerely apologize for his crass demeanor. No, it's okay. He just came off as a bit... Despite what you have witnessed, he can indeed be serious at times. Even still, I do not know how to reach him, especially when it comes to the villagers. We only find ourselves in disagreement. As much as I do not wish to attempt it, the reality is that he often kills villagers for reasons other than consumption. I see. Well, he did say he'd consider what I said. It's been a while since he last listened to someone. I cannot predict his actions, but I truly hope he will. Me too. By the way, where's he going? I believe he went back to his room. He does not go out at night, so there is no need to worry over it. That reminds me, please do not explore the mansion beyond what you have already seen. Why not? Roy sometimes leaves his leftovers in the rooms. I tore myself down my spine from the thought. Okay, I got it. Anyway, I guess I should be going. Would you mind if I come back tomorrow? Quite frankly, I'm surprised you wish to return. Of course, you are always welcome here, miss. Please allow me to walk you home. Thank you. So many things have happened today that my mind could barely keep up. I could praise myself for finding the serial killer within a short amount of time. But that leaves the next problem. Stopping Roya from killing innocent people. I was raised by parents who only believed in science. The living dead still seems like fantasy. Shinoda and Roya look completely normal despite being the living dead. Nothing about them is gruesome or corpse-like. The more I think about it, the more curious I become. I begin to pull a blanket up to my chin. My eyelids start to feel heavy, and I fall into a dreamless sleep. Dots. I wake up to the sound of a door slamming somewhere inside the house. I set up a pillow in the room. What's that? I'm sure I locked everything this time. I step out of my bedroom and check the hallway. Nothing but silence. Where did the sound come from? As if answering my question, I notice movement in the darkness. Show yourself. The floor creaks as the shadow creeps closer. I quickly try to find the light switch, still unable to recognize the figure. I feel against the wall, but I realize who my visitor is before I can turn on the lights. Roya, what are you doing in my house? I was hoping for a stronger, more scared reaction, Miss Cutie. Breaking into someone's house isn't a joke. How'd you even get in here? You didn't lock the door. Anyone could have walked straight in. Yeah, right. I remember to lock it this time. If you break the lock, you'll have to pay for the repairs. Oh, don't make me look bad. I just wanted to see your cute face again. In the middle of the night? What are you, a pervert? Anyway, go back to your brother. I'm sure he's worried about you. Now he'll be fine on his own. You, on the other hand, have loneliness written all over your face. I didn't ask for your company. He raised his foot and grabs my arm forcefully. Really? He peers deeply into my eyes. I freeze for a moment, and then... Let's be nice. With a straight face, I politely ask Roya to let go of me. Has spending so much time with Juju made you more obedient? Only here to mess with me. He seems amused by my annoyance. You're too fun. I should really save you for last. So you came to eat me, huh? The man grins mischievously as he rubs his chin. Maybe. I am curious about how you taste. I step back in surprise, mentally preparing myself for the worst. You take me way too seriously, you know. We could play around another time. Come here for something boring, but important. His gaze turns serious as his smile disappears. I only want to confirm something. You haven't told anyone about the incident from earlier this week, have you? You know what happened with the storage room? I kept it to myself. Well, I don't think you're lying. You honestly believe that I'm the one behind the villagers' murders, don't you? Shinoda has an alibi. But I don't have any reason not to believe with the culprit. Besides, even your brother thinks you did it. I'm hurt. And you're trying to pit my cute little brother against me. Shame on you. There are more things happening in the village than you know. Have you noticed that the population of living dead has been going up like crazy? I mean, those zombie-like people. I guess. It's true that I'm responsible for creating them. But lately, they've been going out of control and attacking the villagers. Of course, if any victims survive the attacks, they can easily turn into the living dead themselves as well, which means they can multiply rapidly. My brother and I have a different form of the virus, so we aren't contagious like the others. We are artificially made, you see. My eyes widen in shock. Anyway, the missing people are long dead. My point is, you don't need to help us. You put yourself locked up in here and nothing bad will happen to you. Promise. What about all the living dead around town? They're dangerous. I won't get in the way if you try to help. Next time I'm hungry, I might take care of them myself. Maybe. All alone. You're getting ahead of yourself. Hehe. You're underestimating me. Well, I'm off. Don't tell my brother what I said, else he might end up hurting himself. Wouldn't want that, would you? Does Shinodu know that the living dead are multiplying themselves? Doesn't matter. Anyway, if anyone finds out about this, make sure you put all the blame on me. Leave my brother out of this. I softly agree with the request with a nod, despite fundamentally disagreeing with Roya. Think of this as making us even. I didn't forget about you helping me when I was injured. Roya speaks before leaving me alone in the hallway. My impression of Roya has changed again. I have mixed feelings about all this. Shinoda was right to know what's going on, doesn't he? I was sure I'm alone, and I double-checked all the locks. I returned to bed. Next day, I walked down the street, steadily approaching Shinoda's home. So I told him about last night. Might worry him even more, though. I suddenly noticed someone standing under a street lamp. With the light casting a shadow over their face, I don't recognize the figure. I rarely step closer, only to be unpleasantly surprised. It's Shane! Yay! Yay! How you doing, dude? The man's cold, blue eyes shift toward me as his breathing audibly slows. You shouldn't be outside this time of day. The living dead are already out. What, already? Jin walks off without another word. Seeing his broad back, I'm reminded of the moment he attacked Shinodu. I won't ever forgive him for trying to hard Shinodu and Roya. Unable to contain my anger, I sprint after Chain and raise my fist. Before the punch can connect, the man flips around and grabs my wrist. Even though I was in his blind spot, his reflexes are amazing enough to still kick in. What are you doing? God, he's so cool! He's so cool! Oh my! Chain shoves me away, glaring at me with clear killing intent. You're an actual innocent. You're trying to kill my friends. You know what you're accusing me of. You're a real weird one. Pot, meat, kettle. I'm weird. You just to intimidate, breaking into houses to assault people on first sight. And who in the right mind wears a gas mask in public? Chang turns silent as he considers my thoughts. When satisfied, he crosses his arms. First of all, I don't assault anyone on first sight. I carefully follow them before taking action. Oh god. I'm not one of those mindless living dead. Secondly, I do not break into houses for fun. As for the mask, I'm just sick of the smell of death. Anyway, why does it even matter? It makes you look suspicious as hell, duh. Chain puts one hand behind his head and begins to remove his mask, sighing as he does so. My eyes widen in surprise at his appearance. Do I still look intimidating? I don't wish I responds, but I remain speechless. He stops before putting his mask back on. If that's all you want to know, I have a job to finish. You should be grateful to me for exterminating those monsters. I touch my fist and glare at the man until he disappears. A short while later, I arrive at the Kenriji mansion. As I move to the side of the house, I notice a large hole in the wall. Did one of the brothers break the wall, too? Well, it was pretty easy the first time. I giggle at the thought. I enter the passage and arrive in the main room. June, where are you? Nobody replies, but the mansion is large enough that he may not have heard me. I take a seat on the couch and wait patiently. Shinodu did warn me not to explore. Minutes later, I still do not hear any sounds. Should I look for him? He could be sitting here for hours if I don't. In the end, curiosity wins me over. The hallway is dark, so I search for a light switch. Thankfully, it does not take long to find. Further down the hall, I find fresh droplets of blood on the ground. Could these be for Roy's victims? What if I'm on the right track? June, are you here? The flood trail leads me to a closed door. I brace myself for the worst as I open it. Just one peek, I can run away any time. The steam filling my vision quickly reminds me this is the washroom, where I sit the bathtub is occupied by a masculine figure. Roya! A familiar chuckle answers me, raising goosebumps on my skin. I turn my gaze only to discover his bloodstained clothes hanging nearby. I was a freaking guess. Did you step in to join me, Miss Cutie? No, sorry, I didn't see anything. I rushed into the hallway and closed the door behind me. I saw nothing. The more I think about it, the more my cheeks heat up. I try my best to push the thought out of my mind. I don't want to walk in on June, too. I should probably head back downstairs. And with that, I am going to end this episode here. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you later.